How long has it been since you've assumed responsibility for your own behavior, your own actions, and your own attitudes? I've noticed that during the last few years of political angst here in America, that people are more than willing to say things online, say things and act out in ways that I'd never seen them act out before, and then to blame it on someone else. To blame it on the Republicans, to blame it on the Democrats, to blame it on the Clintons, to blame it on the Trumps, to blame it on someone without assuming responsibility for their own behavior, their own actions. My dad was big on assuming responsibility for your own action. You'd think growing up in a Christian household where your dad's a pastor, he'd be real big on making sure that we respected the Bible and those kind of things. But my dad used to like to tell us, remember, these Bible thumpers out there, they're worshiping nothing more than a paper pope when they go around and they lift up the Bible like that. He said, what's most important is what's in your heart and your relationship with the Lord. And I need to apologize to my brother Danny. Danny, I stole some money out of your drawer. I think I was in first grade. Danny was probably already in 7th or 8th grade. He had a newspaper route. And there was a goldfish and some candy I really wanted. So I went in and Danny kept his collection money in his sock drawer in the other bedroom. Timmy and I shared the back bedroom. I snuck in there and I took some of the money. Mickey Melmauer and I went down and I bought a goldfish and I bought some candy. And then a day or two later, Danny noticed money was missing. Well, of course, I was put on the hot seat because everyone wanted to know where that money came from. And I made up some story about finding it or having bottles to turn in or something. I don't remember what kind of story I made up. And my dad did something I don't remember ever seeing him do in my entire life until right then. He got out the Bible and he said, I want you to put your hand on the Bible, Eric. And I want you to swear to God that it wasn't you that took the money. And so I diligently put my little hand on the Bible and I swore to God that it wasn't me that took the money. I knew that if I were to admit to it right then, a couple things would happen. First of all, the goldfish would be history. Second of all, Danny would beat the living daylights out of me. And so I was more than willing to breach everything with God to stay away from that kind of problem that I knew then my father had the belt hanging up down at the end of the hallway. So I lied. I lied, said it stuck with me all these years, Danny. I don't know if there's interest to be charged with that 50 or 75 cents I took. But I've never forgotten the lesson. I never saw Dad do anything like that again. I don't know why he did it that time. I'm sure he knew he was playing on my Sunday school faith. But I know what he was crying out for in his youngest son was, Eric, assume responsibility for what you've done. I can't imagine that there was anyone in the household, not even Kathleen, who was younger than me, not Timmy, not Danny, not Mom, not Dad, who didn't know for certain, absolutely certain, that I was the one who took it. They were giving me an out. They were giving me a way to fess up to what I had done. And I was unwilling to assume responsibility for my actions. I woke up this morning and I was going to run at 5 o'clock so I could be back in time to watch the impeachment hearings. And then I said, nah, I'm not going to do it. And I thought, I'll listen to them while I run. And then I checked it out on radio.com. And then I thought, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then at 7 o'clock, right when they're supposed to be starting, I got a notification from radio.com that they were starting. I could listen to it as I came out and I had my headphones with me. And I thought, nah, I'm not going to do it. It's not that I don't think well-educated, good citizens of America shouldn't be paying attention during these difficult times in our nation. I do. I just know that I'm a political junkie. And I know it'd be really easy for me just to be consumed with it and be caught up with it. And so I made a choice. Just assume responsibility for my own actions. I've got more important places to go in the weeks to come. Thanksgiving, Christmas, the hearts and homes of families that have lost loved ones. I've got more important things to do than to be angry with people and to get consumed in all of this. And I'm not saying I'm not going to turn it on at some point today. I'm not putting my hand on the Bible again and making a promise saying I did not do that and I will not do that. But I thought I do not want to start today that way. And I thought as we come to this holiday season, for those of you who, like me, maybe you've found yourself caught up in some of this rancor across the last few years. And maybe instead of having a gentle spirit or a kind spirit or a compassionate spirit or above all else, love, the greatest gift of these all, love, a loving spirit, you found yourself displaying anger, animosity, judgment, nastiness, and maybe even after you made a promise to God that you were going to be a loving witness, you've lied to God and you've broken that promise in the way you've treated people just because of their political perspective and just because they disagreed with you. I'm going to do my best in the days to come to be loving, to be compassionate, to be kind, to assume responsibility for my actions. I can't choose what the president did. I can't choose what its underlings did at his direction. I can't choose what's happening in the impeachment trials. I can't choose any of those things. I think we need to be involved. I think we need to be invested in what happens in our nation, but I can't choose that. I can choose me. And for me, I want everyone to know that I love them, that when I put my hand to the work, that I mean it and I'll stick with it. I want everyone to know that which I say, I will follow through with, and that even a story I told 58 years ago and a lie I told then, it's stuck with me just because it's not who I am and it's not who I want to be. Who are you today, and who do you want to be? God didn't create you to be mediocre, and God didn't create you to live a life of mediocrity that's bought into assuming something about other people. God created you to be compassionate, to be loving, to be forgiving, to be kind, to go the second mile, to love your enemy. God created you, when you say yes, to say, I want to do my very best, to trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding, and realize that when I commit myself to Him, that He's going to direct my paths. I find that so many of us are so good at putting our hand on the Bible and so bad at living it out all day long. If, like me, you've broken a promise somewhere along the line, maybe today is a good day to assume responsibility for yourself again. Not to point a finger at anyone else, but to say, I want to be the miracle. God, make me a miracle in the world today. You were created to be miraculous. I want to go there with you. Hey, be the miracle. And Danny, I don't know if you want the 50 or 75 cents or if you'd rather have a goldfish. I can come up with either one. I'm really sorry. I love you. Talk to you later. Be the miracle.